All right, so welcome to Ambition Academy's last training call of the month. Can't believe it, it flies by. Thanks for being here right until the very, very end. It makes a huge difference. The coaches who are actually in the training, who are actually participating in the posts that are going up, reading them, engaging in them, and applying them to their business. And then more importantly, and most importantly, showing up on these business calls is key of how much success you're going to have in this business as a brand new coach. So it is June 17th and it's our last call. And what I wanted to spend tonight talking about was sharing on social media and overcoming objections. And these are two of my favorite things to talk about, specifically overcoming objections, because you're going to hear them all the time. So I want to talk about first, and you're going to want to have your pen out and your notebook out so that you can take notes, because you're going to want to look back on these and then apply them to your business as soon as we get off the call. So always remember that no matter what you are hearing and learning in this business, whether it's a training video, a call like this, a team call, always find something from that event or call that you learned that you can then apply to your business. Because as long as you do that, you will continue moving forward and continue to see success and growth in your business. So in terms of sharing on social media, everybody on here, everybody who comes into this business, all has a story to share. Whether you think that you do or not, whether you believe you do or not, you do. Everyone comes in with a story. And everybody's story is different. And that is what makes us all so unique. And getting vulnerable and sharing little nuggets and little pieces of your journey and of your story along the way is what makes you relatable. It's what makes you real. It's what makes people build and develop trust in you. So sometimes when you come on as a brand new coach, you have this image in your mind that things need to be perfect or appear perfect, or that you have to have everything, it's got to be all together all the time. And that's actually the opposite of what you should do as a coach, because no one can relate to the perfect coach, right? Who has like the 8-pack and it looks like their life is all together and isn't she just so lucky? Everything's just so perfect for her. Everybody has stuff going on in their life. Mess is happening every single day. Kids are throwing tantrums in Target. And it's just, there's constantly stuff like that happening all the time, right? And just sharing those little things like that every single day is what draws people to you. It's what makes people want to follow you and keep going back to your feed or your wall every single day to see what you're up to. So getting vulnerable on social media is definitely something that is scary. And it's something that a lot of times you don't want to do. But I want to just tell you something, guys. Being surfaced and playing up here and sharing things like that is way more easier than it is to get vulnerable and share the hard stuff. And the good thing is about this business, guys, is that you don't have to share like every single little personal detail of your life. That's not what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about getting vulnerable and sharing different things going on in your life, you can pick and choose. There are things that I don't share with the world because I just don't want people to know them. But you just find those little things that you can share with other people that will make you relatable, where you get a little bit vulnerable, and it's going to make you nervous. It's going to make you feel kind of woozy. I can't believe I'm going to be sharing this. But it's going to be those posts that you make where you're going to get a lot more traction than any other post that you could ever possibly make. I'll never forget when I first started, and I kind of had this whole thing where, I didn't want anybody to think I was flawed. I didn't want anybody to think that, we were weak and that I had this major debt problem, that we completely cleared out our entire savings account, that we had almost $40,000 wrapped up on our credit card, that we were sinking by $1,000 every single month. I didn't want anybody to know that. I was so worried about, what are people going to think about me? I think that's one of the reasons why I was in such a rush to change that situation so quickly with this business. It was me wanting to be home with the kids, but me also wanting to, I just couldn't stand that. I couldn't stand that anymore, and I had to change it. And I'll never forget when I made that first post and actually shared with people the situation that we were in. I was a newer coach. I had only been coaching for a couple of months. I wasn't earning six figures then or anything like that. But I made that post and I put it out there and I shared with people where we were at. And I told everybody that this business was going to change all that. And that this was the reason, one of the reasons why I was in this business was to not only be able to earn enough income to stay at home with my kids, but it was also because I wanted to change the way that our situation was going for our family. And I just remember being so sick to my stomach to press enter, to watch that go onto the screen like it was out there. And guys, I had so many likes. I had been posting every single day on social media. I was doing all the things that you're learning in this new coach training, all the things, being present, adding value on social media every single day. And I wasn't getting any traction on those posts. A couple likes here or there, barely ever any comments. That's normal. And when I made that post, it was so relatable because freaking like 75% of the population is living paycheck to paycheck or is in major amounts of debt. And I just shared that we were in that situation. So it lets people see that, you know what, there's hope and that you're not alone. And I had so many messages come in that day from people thanking me for getting vulnerable and sharing that piece with them, that piece of my journey with them. And that they were so thankful to hear that, oh my gosh, like I've been hiding this for so long, but I'm so glad to see that I am not alone. And so that's what you have to think about. You have to think about how every time that you share a little bit, the hard stuff, right? The hard things that are not easy to share. Every time you do that, it gives people on the other end hope. And that's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to just let all the skeletons out of our closet and use social media as a huge venting session. That's not the point. The point is to share this information, let people know that they're not alone, ways of how they can overcome it, ways of how you're starting to overcome these struggles and these hurdles in your life. And then by doing that, it instills hope in other people. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay. When you're sharing on social media, every post does not need to be vulnerable, but you want to try to get people to feel emotion. You want to try to get people to feel emotion. That's where people will really start to make that bond and that connection with you. That's why over time, and it's not going to be perfect at the beginning, guys. You're going to mess up so much. Just know that. You're going to make crappy posts. You're going to post something and be like, oh, why did I do that? It's totally okay. We all do that. But we learn as we go in this business. But as you keep doing this, you're going to get better and better and better and better and become more relatable. And you're going to develop more trust. And it just takes practice. This is a brand new job for you, right? This is totally different from anything that you've ever done before. And you're not going to come on as a pro. Things aren't going to be perfect at the beginning. And that's okay. It's not supposed to be. It's all learning experiences and you learn as you go. So when you're sharing some things on social media, make sure that you're sharing everything about you, that you're sharing the good things that are happening, some of the stressful things that might be happening, the struggles, the hurdles, the good, the bad, whatever it is. You want people to really get to know you as a person and not just, did my workout today, I almost didn't do it, but I did it, check. That's just all surface stuff. You really want to talk to people and get them to see how you felt before you started doing these things. Maybe you were like a binge eater before, right? Or maybe you never worked out before, or maybe you were really inconsistent with your working out before. You want to always talk about how you felt before, your feelings. Did you feel stressed? Did you feel out of control? Did you feel like you were never going to get your body back again? This is just how you're going to live, compared to how you're starting to feel now that you're consistent with doing workouts, now that you're consistent with doing personal development and reading every day, now that you're drinking a superfood shake every single day that's giving your body all the nutrients that it needs. Get them to see how you felt before and how it's helping you now. Because it doesn't matter. You could make the world's best post on social media. People need to see you because they're buying you. That's it. They're not buying Shakeology. They're not buying, any of the other programs or products out there that we have that we offer. They're buying you. And so you need to be sharing every single day and be showcasing every single day how these programs are helping you in your life. You can share different pictures of food. You can share different pictures of, you doing a workout, right? And don't just say like, basic stuff like, oh, 30-minute workout done. You can talk about how you thought maybe that these workouts were a joke because they were at-home workouts. And you never thought that at-home workouts could get you into shape. And here you are now, down 5 pounds in the first week, or here you are now in the best shape of your life out of doing all these different things that you've done before. Now, this is what got you into the best shape of your life. So as you're sharing on social media, make sure that you mix into all these things, all these different things that make you you. You want to share things about your life, right? Are you getting married, right? Are you pregnant and going to be having a baby? Are you, trying to have, a baby? Are you trying to grow your family? Do you already have kids? Are you a stay-at-home mom? Are you a working mom? Are you a part-time working mom? Are you married? Are you single? Are you divorced? I mean, all these different things. You want people to get to know you as a whole, as a person. And a really good tip too is that everything that you post, you want to be adding value in a really awesome way, in a really easy way, guys, to add value. And I still do this to this day, but I really did it a lot at the beginning when I was a coach because I really just wasn't sure what to post and it was uncomfortable to me. But as I was doing my personal development, I always had a notebook out, or I always had something in my car with me to take notes on, jot down little things, or I would do it in my phone. Take a little nugget away from your personal development that you can share with people. That's free value that you can add to people's day. That's what people like. They will soak that all up. And over time, as you keep doing these different things, then you're going to become an influencer and you're going to be someone of inspiration and motivation. And it takes time. It takes time. This isn't going to happen in just 2 weeks of you posting or 2 months of you posting. For me, because I wasn't used to using social media when I first started, guys, it took me 15 months of me posting and showing up every single day, no matter what, even when I didn't want to, for people to now start to come to me and come to me for advice on different things in life with health and fitness, the business aspect, motivation, belief, all that stuff. I didn't come into this with a huge following. I only had 300 friends and I barely posted on social media. So when I started all of a sudden posting on social media, I didn't get that many likes. Sometimes I had one, right? Sometimes I got none. And it was only my husband who liked it. Or my best friend who I said, can you just go like my post? Or another friend from the team. Because people were like, what's going on here? Like, Kathy never posted. Now all of a sudden she's posting all this stuff every single day. I had to prove to them that I was going to be someone that they would want to follow, that could help them in these ways. And so stay the course, guys, in terms of your posting. Make sure you do it every day. And don't get all wrapped up in the likes. Don't get wrapped up in who likes it or comments it. It's not all about the likes. I know there's those damn shirts that you see at Target. It's all about the likes. It's not. It is about the content that you're putting out there, how real and raw you're being. If you're being authentic, are you being you? Are you talking like you? Whatever you share on social media to read, or even behind the scenes in private messages, guys, should sound exactly the same way as if you were face to face with that person. So get real with yourself. Don't worry about being like anybody else. Don't worry about having to post like anybody else. Post like you, talk like you, and stay the course. And then that is how you bring people to you and attract people to you over time. And remember that even though you might only have 1 or 2 likes on that post, okay, you have way more eyes on you. And, I'm thinking about people that I've signed up. I've had people watching me for 4 years. It took them 4 years to make the decision to coach. I've had people watch me for over 2 years. 2 years of me showing up every day. 2 years of me reaching out and doing personal messages to people, to them, for them to realize that the time is right for them. So when people come in and they think that they're going to see miracles happen in 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, it's not like that. It's a business, and you have to just stay the course and remember that. Think about how long it took you to become a coach. I know for me personally, it took me 3 months. 3 months of watching. 3 months of me being in all these different groups and seeing if this was legit, if I could really do it, and finally getting the courage up to do it. So just remember that you have to be patient with this business, but talk and be you. No matter what you do, this is the only business in the world where the only way that you will succeed is if you're yourself, period. So any questions on any of that in terms of posting on social media? We say now that we really want you guys to get up one good quality post every single day. And the most important thing that you can really do now is learn how to use Instagram stories and Facebook stories. That's where all the action is. And so if you haven't done that yet, I highly recommend that you go to YouTube. YouTube is like your best friend. It was my best friend, and it still is to this day. When I first started, I was on it all the time. Google it, learn how to use it, and don't wait. Just start taking action on those two things right there. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to talk about overcoming objections. How many of you guys, I know we hear objections all the time, right? This is like my jam, overcoming objections. So first I'm going to start out with this little analogy, because sometimes, actually not sometimes, most of the times as a brand new coach, when we hear people tell us no, we tend to take it to heart, right? Like, it must be me. Maybe I'm not a good coach. Maybe I didn't say it the right way. Does she not like me? Oh my God, did I offend her? It's none of that crap. It's none of that crap. You can't take it personal. And here's why. Here's a really good way to think about this. Okay, you're in a coffee shop. You go into a coffee shop and you sit down to meet a friend because you want to talk about life, right? And there's a waitress there, and she's walking around with her coffee pot, and she's going to every single person who comes into the door, every single person who sits down, and she's asking them if they'd like some coffee, right? We've all had this happen. Some people say yes, some people say no, not right now. Some people say no, thanks, I'll just take a water. The waitress doesn't take it personally when you tell her, no, I don't want any coffee. She just carries on her little way and continues asking every single person if they want coffee. Would you like a refill? Sure. Would you like a refill? No, thanks. Oh, hi. Hey, how's your day? Would you like a cup of coffee? No, I'm all set. She doesn't cry about it. She doesn't run in the back room and tell her manager, oh my gosh, I suck as a waitress. That person didn't want the coffee. I don't know what I did wrong. Does the coffee suck? Is it burnt? I don't know. Why didn't they want it? They don't think anything of it. They go on their merry little way, continuing to ask every single person who sits down if they'd like a cup of coffee. This is exactly like you as a coach. You can't take it personally, ever. And every person that you come in contact with in person and on social media, you need to invite them to our support and accountability groups, or invite them to learn more about the business. And guess what? At the end of the day, guys, some people just don't want to do what you do. And it's okay. I talk to people all the time who love CrossFit. I have no desire to ever do CrossFit in my entire life. And that's okay, right? So at the end of the day, guys, you aren't going to get everybody. Not everybody is going to want to do what you do, but you can't take it personal. It'd be like if I said that the best ice cream in the world is chocolate chip cookie dough, and you said it was coffee, and I got upset. That's stupid, right? You can't be like that. You just have to keep continuing to ask. Oh yeah, once you learn to take, yes, exactly. Once you learn to take the personal part out, it's so easy. Yeah, it's just like, okay, it's not a big deal. So I want you to think about that, right? Think about you as a waitress in a store, right? In a restaurant. You would not be judging people as they walked in a coffee shop. It is your job to offer people coffee. It is your job as a coach to offer people this as their solution to their health and fitness or for their financial. If you are not telling people about this and asking them and offering them this incredible opportunity that we have, then you're not doing your job and you're going to get fired. Imagine it like that, right? If you were working in this coffee shop and your manager looked over and saw you just standing there like sweating, like sweaty palms and tutor. And he came up to you and said, what's the matter? There's people coming in, they're sitting down, they're everywhere. Why are you not offering coffee? I don't know, I'm just too nervous. I just don't think they're gonna want it. Do they like hot coffee? Do they want iced coffee? I don't know. And did they have a coffee right before they came in? He'd be like, see ya, right? Imagine it's like this with your job as a coach. So you have to be courageous enough to go and talk to people every single day about this, because we have what works, okay? Get used to hearing objections every single day and hearing no. I just want you guys to know this, okay? You are going to hear the word no a lot, like a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. No is all part of the process of this business, guys. It just comes with the territory as a coach. And as soon as you can take that personal part out, just like Cheryl just mentioned in the chat, it's not even going to phase you, which is why you need to just learn to grow a thick skin from early on and know that it's not you. Don't take it personal. No just means not right now for them. That's what it means. It means not right now, they're not ready. And you know what you do with those people? You put them on your list, because hopefully you're tracking your business. Otherwise, you will really be on the struggle bus. And you follow up with them next month, because maybe they're not ready now because they had some unexpected bills come up. Or maybe they're not ready right now because they just had a death in their family that they're trying to cope with that. But maybe next month they'll be ready to work on themselves. Maybe 5 months from now. Who knows, guys? Maybe it'll be 2 years. It doesn't matter. You don't ever lose connection with those people, and you put them on your follow-up list, okay? So don't take it personal. No just means not right now. Now I'm going to give you guys, this is where you're going to want to take your notes out. Because over the past 4 years of coaching, I've 150% mastered overcoming objections. And I feel that there are 4 indicators that will really help determine how well someone can overcome objections. So I'm going to list out these 4 different things, and then I'm going to go over some examples for each category. So there's 4 different indicators will determine how well you can overcome your objections. And the very, very first one is belief. Your belief in the programs and the products and what you're offering. That's the first one. Where is your belief at in terms of the programs and the products? Do you really believe that we have the best of the best and that this will change somebody's life? Or do you just kinda, sorta, maybe it might change your life, believe? There's a big difference. That's number 1, is your belief. The second one is your confidence in your wording when you're talking to people. Your confidence in your wording. The third one is your ability to be able to write back or talk back to people by using the words feel, felt, and found. So when you're talking to people and they give you an objection, oh, it's too much money. Oh, sorry, I don't have the time for that. Oh, no, I don't think that's going to work for me. How well can you talk to them by using feel, felt, and found? And the fourth one is practice, 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 and patience. You can add in patience there for number 4. It's these 4 indicators that will determine how well you can overcome an objection when you hear it. And over time, guys, you are going to realize and you are going to see that it's the same objections that you get all the time, right? I don't have the money. Shakeology is too expensive. That's way too much for a protein shake. I don't have the time for that. Does this really work, right? You're going to hear the same ones over and over again. And it's how well you can master those that will determine your outcome. And you're not going to get everybody, because like I mentioned earlier, sometimes people just don't want to do what you do, and that's okay. Sometimes people just don't want to do what you want to do, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can't take it personally. So now I'm going to go over some examples of every single of those 4 indicators. For the very first one, it's how much belief you have when it comes to the programs and the products. So a really good example of this is when you hear people say, oh, oh my God, Shakeology is way too much money. Or, yeah, I really wanted to do Shakeology, but it's just way too much money. Ask yourself this. Do you think Shakeology is too much money? Be honest. Ask yourself right now and sit there and think, do you think that Shakeology is too much money? Because I can tell you what right now, there's your answer. If you think that Shakeology is too much money, there is no way in hell you will ever be able to get somebody else to see the value in Shakeology if you think it's too expensive. Because no matter how well you type something out, it doesn't matter. People are going to feel it behind the other scene, behind the other screen. They're going to tell and be able to feel and sense the vibe that you don't think it's worth it. So do you think it's too expensive or not? I personally, and I will tell people this because it's just the way I am as a coach. I am very bold and I'm very just blunt with people. I just will tell it like it is. I personally think that Shakeology is really cheap for what's in it, for how you get an entire month's supply. And I will tell people that. People will go and they'll go to drive-thrus every single day and they'll throw money out the window at stupid stuff all the time, right? Sandwiches, whatever, coffees from Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks. Oh my gosh, when I go to Starbucks and get my coffee, right, it's like almost $4 for a cold brew. There's no nutritional value in that, but people do that every single day. Shakeology, it's under $4 a day. It replaces a meal. If you use it to replace a meal, it can reduce the cost of your grocery list. And so I'll tell people that straight up. Oh my gosh, you think Shakeology is expensive? I think it's super cheap. Are you kidding me? It's an entire meal for every single day. You don't have to get as many groceries as you typically do for breakfast if you use it for breakfast like I do. It's cheap. Listen to me. You have to try this. Try it out for a month. Drink it every single day. Trust me, you'll thank me later, but if God forbid all else fails and it goes to hell in a handbasket and you don't like it, send it back and get your money back. It's not going to happen, but it's good to know. I talk like that to people because I really do believe that Shakeology is underpriced. I think it's underpriced. And so when I talk to people, I actually don't get that objection that much anymore about it being too much money because they can see and they can feel the confidence in my wording. Or actually, even better, sending voice messages, guys, to people on Facebook or on Instagram. Even better, you can send a video message of yourself. Way better than just typing things out. So you just got to kind of get over yourself and like pull your big girl panties up and kind of do the hard shit sometimes that you don't want to do because it's going to make a difference. It will change your business and the outcome that you see. So think about that. Your belief comes also from your commitment to the programs and to the products. Are you like all in? Are you all in? Like, are you all in? Are you doing a program every single day? Are you following the nutrition plan 150%? Are you drinking your shake every single day? If you are, then your confidence is going to go through the roof because you're going to feel amazing. And people are going to start to see that. You're going to be feeling happier. You're going to be looking better. And they're going to be asking you about this. Or are you just kind of like half-assing it? And you're like, yeah, I'm kind of doing a workout here, doing this one here, doing that one there. Darn it, I didn't do my shake today. You're never going to see the full effect of how this can really change your life if you're not all in. And I know when I first started, where I started with the 21-day fix in Shakeology, and my daughter was 4 months old, I was still breastfeeding at home, and my son was 22 months old, and I had 35 pounds that I needed to lose, and I went all in, especially for that first round. I went all in, and I lost 9 pounds, and I was feeling like, whoa, this is amazing. And my attitude was, I can't believe this. This actually works. Moms can actually get their body back. They can actually look better and feel better than they did before they had kids. I have to tell every single mother about this. Like, I totally had the solution. They all need to do it. And that is how I felt because I was committed all in. I wouldn't have felt that way, and I wouldn't have had that kind of confidence and belief in the programs and products if I just really didn't commit. So you need to commit to you, and you need to commit to your goals, and you need to commit to a program and stick with it every single step of the way so that you can get awesome results. Okay. The next one that I was talking about, the second indicator that will determine how well you can overcome objections, is your confidence in your wording. So this is a big thing. You have to be extremely confident when you're talking to people, okay? Which means if that means that before you sit down to talk, okay, you put on some pumped up jams and you do a dance out like right in your office or wherever you are to get yourself hyped up, or maybe you put on some Tony Robbins or like Brendon Burchard like on YouTube or whatever it is to get yourself like, yeah, I'm a badass. People need this. This is it. People need this in their life. Whatever it is, you have to do that to get yourself feeling up to it, right? Especially at the beginning, you're feeling kind of like, oh, this is awkward. This is new. I don't really know what I'm doing. I hope this person likes it. You got to get yourself fired up before you start talking to people, right? If I came and sat down to work every single night and I was just like, oh, now I got to invite. Oh God, I'm just so tired. It was such a shit show. The kids were just fucking crazy today. I can't do this. Okay, I guess I'll just do a couple just to say I invited, just because my coach is going to check up on me and I need to do 3 of them or whatever. Do you think that anybody is going to sense any kind of confidence in me? No, I'm not going to get anybody signed up with that kind of an attitude. And guys, trust me, I don't just like show up with bells and whistles on and all happy-go-lucky all the time. This is a practice. This is something I have to practice every single day. And I will be that person with the jams on, totally blasting out, dancing like a lunatic, because that is what gets me feeling good and gets my energy up and gets my confidence up. And my messages are so much more effective. And I get a way better response rate when it's like that versus, oh man, can I just go to bed early tonight? I mean, you can't be like that. Don't even bother sitting down to do any messages to people if that's how you feel, because you're just wasting your time. Instead, spend the time getting your energy and confidence up first. And don't ever apologize to people. Sometimes I hear coaches be like, I'll be like, oh, send me some of your messages so that I can look them over for you and give you some, constructive feedback. And sometimes I'll see a message from a coach to somebody else that will say, now, I know it's really expensive, but it's so worth it and you're really going to like it. It's like, oh my God, you didn't just say that. Like, don't apologize for the price and plant that seed that it's too expensive in their mind. It's totally not. Don't even say that. Don't apologize for reaching out to people ever like, oh, I'm really sorry to bother you, but I have this support and accountability group coming up, and I'm looking for, maybe like a couple of people who want to do it with me. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Anyways, I don't even know if you're interested in anything like this, but let me know. No one will ever sign up. You're going to be like, hey girl, how's it going? I thought of you because I have this awesome kick-ass support and accountability group kicking off in a week. It's so much fun. It's super motivating. And I'm looking for 5 people to do this with me. Would you be interested in hearing more about it and possibly joining us? Like, way different, right? Emojis, exclamation points, like, you're fired up. People need this in their life. So you have to get that confidence when you're talking to people. And literally before you sit down, say to yourself, people need me right now. They need this in their life. And I am doing people a disservice if I don't reach out to people every single day, because you are. Okay, I'll pretend like I'm your boss right now, even though you don't have one. You are not doing your job as a coach if you are not reaching out to people every single day behind the scenes in private messages, period. You're not. You're not a coach and you're not doing your job. And that sucks because people really, really need you in their life. I mean, people are sitting right now behind their screens, like feeling like crap about themselves, overweight, just like no confidence. They've already tried everything and they don't even know about this. And you're sitting there nervous to reach out to them because you think it's too expensive or they might not want it. No, you have to go to them, guys. People are so nervous to start. And we have to be the ones to go to them that instill that belief in them before they even have belief in themselves and tell them that we have what works. You have to be relentless in this. You don't have time to sit back and be scared to reach out to people. You have to do it anyway. Like, you have to suck it up and do it anyway. And guess what? Confidence comes from doing it more and more and more. The more that you do it, the more confidence that you're going to build. The longer that you sit here and go like, oh God, I can't do this, the inviting piece, the more fear builds up and the less likely you are to even do it. So anyways, do it. You have to just do it. That is your job, is to help people. And people are not going to come to you at the beginning. You have to go to them, and you have to be confident in it. And even if you're nowhere near where you want to be in this business, or even in your health and fitness, you have to know that this is going to get you there. It was like the very first day that I signed up to become a coach, when I was 35 pounds overweight, the night I signed up to become a coach, my coach told me, don't worry about it. Don't plan on anything happening for an entire month at least. Just kind of like, whatever. And I hung up the phone and I was like, I don't have time to sit around for a month and just let nothing happen. And I had no idea what challenge groups were. I heard about them and I knew that I was going to be in one, and I knew that I was supposed to invite people to one. That was it. And I sat down and I was honest with people in my messages. I sat down and I took action, and I was confident in it. And I said, I reached out to all my friends on Facebook. Hey, Jen, hey, I just decided to become a coach. I'm so excited because I really need to get rid of this 35 pounds after having my 2 kids. Nothing has worked, and I'm starting a 21-day support and accountability group. I know this is going to work for me, and I really need support, and I'm looking for other women who want to do it with me. Would you be interested in hearing more about it? Do you want to do it with me? That was my message. Day 1 as a coach. I was not in good shape. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I didn't know what a challenge group was, but in 3 days, I had 8 people sign up. That was it. And it was because I was talking to people, and I was confident, even though I felt like crap, and I looked like crap and was so overweight and just didn't feel good. I told people that this was going to get me to where I wanted to be. So do you have that kind of confidence when you're talking to people? If not, you got to find a way to get it up. And like I said, the more that you talk to people, the more confidence that's going to be built up in you. Okay. The third indicator is how well, when you're talking to people, that you can use the words feel, felt, and found. By the way, if you ever need to pick me up, and you've got to get your work done, Energize is a really good solution to that. Okay, I drink that all the time. It really does help. But so feel, felt, and found. What I mean by this is, first of all, the objections that you're hearing from people, and if you really step back and think about it, are basically and most likely the same objections that you heard or that you told your coach before you signed up, right? Oh, I just don't think I have the time for that. I couldn't imagine putting anything else on my plate. Or, oh my gosh, like I have so much debt. I have no money. Like I can't afford to do anything, right? We've all heard these. You probably said them yourself. I know that was what I said to my coach before I signed up, that I didn't think I had the time to do this because I had the 2 little kids at home and was getting no sleep, and not much has changed. And I didn't have the money. And the best way to overcome those objections is to bring it back to you and to how you felt when you first started. So this is how a sample conversation of mine would go. If I'm talking to somebody and somebody tells me an objection, like, oh gosh, yeah, that sounds like so much fun, but yeah, I just really just don't think I have the time for that. I'm so busy. I never take no for an answer. I never say like, all right, totally get it, girl. Hit me up later whenever you feel the time is right. No, you don't do that. Like, you got to dig a little bit deeper with these people, whether it's for time, money, or motivation is their objection that they give you. Whatever it is, you have to dig a little deeper. So if somebody told me that they didn't think that they had time, first of all, I'd want to laugh because who the hell really has time? But I would say a typical response to them would be, listen, I completely understand how you feel right now. I remember feeling the exact same way 4 years ago when before I signed up. I had a 4-month-old and a 22-month-old at home. I did not think that I had the time to add anything else on my plate. I wasn't getting any sleep. See, I'm telling like a story to these people. I was breastfeeding all night long. Okay, I wasn't getting any sleep. My son was waking me up at 5:30 a.m. during the day, in the morning, and I just didn't think I had the time for this. But what I found was, when I actually sat back and looked at how I was spending the time during my day, specifically at night once the kids went to bed, I realized that I actually had time to build this business. Because when the kids were going to bed and I was sitting down watching reruns of Homeland and Walking Dead and all these other things and The Bachelorette, I realized that instead of sitting on the couch and watching 3 hours of that every night before I went to bed, that I could carve out time for me to sit down and build my business during that time. And so that's what I did. And I will talk like that to people. And I'll tell them, you just need to find pockets of time during your day, what works for you. All right. Everybody has the time. You just have to look for it in your schedule. And I will just be honest with people, sitting on the couch watching, I had a choice, just like everybody else has a choice. Sitting down on the couch every single night, as comfortable and as appealing as that may be, watching TV all night long was not going to change the situation that we were in. It was not going to get me out of debt. It was not going to allow me to continue staying home with my kids. It was going to do nothing. It was instant gratification, instant pleasure. And I was willing to make a temporary sacrifice for long-term pleasure. Okay. So you have to relate it back to you. Okay. With whatever they tell you, feel, felt, and found. I remember exactly what I thought Shakeology was too expensive too. But what I found is that once I started using it for breakfast every single day, I was actually able to reduce the cost of my grocery bill that I was spending because I was using it as my breakfast. And, so feel, felt, found. Always relate it back to you so that you're acknowledging how they're feeling and then go from there. Does that make sense with the feel, felt, found? And don't be in such a rush to get it, just get the message out there too. If it takes a second to figure it out, because a lot of this at the beginning, guys, as new coaches, it's really just learning how to talk to people. As a brand new coach, all it is you learning how to talk to people and get people signed up at the beginning. That's it. Once you master that, then it's just like riding a bike. It really is. And then you just keep going. And it's easy. It's so much easier, right? The more you do it. And so the last part of this, of the fourth indicator of how well you can overcome objections, is practice. You got to practice this, guys. You have to practice this every single day. If you want to get really good at inviting, then you have to do this every single day. You have to master the mundane. You have to master the boring stuff. Let's just face it. Guys, this is what builds your business. If you're not going to do this, then I don't know why you're here, because you will not build a business. And I will never candy coat it. I will just tell it like it is. It's true. If you aren't going to be willing to share bits and pieces of your journey and to invite and add people to your network and get to know them and build relationships, then you're never going to build a business. So you have to be willing to practice this every single day. It's like I never really got good at skiing, and I'm still scared shitless every time I go to do it because I never really took consistent lessons doing it. So every time I go now, it's like the first time all over again. It's like that with inviting. You have to be out there inviting every single day. And every time you do it, it gets easier and easier and easier and easier. And it's not going to be perfect, guys. It's not. If I showed you some of the messages that I sent to people back in the day, or some of the posts that I made, salesy posts that I made, oh my God, but everybody does it. And that's the part about being an entrepreneur and owning your own business, is that you have to learn through those mistakes that you make. But you're going to be willing to at least do it. Otherwise, you're never going to make any mistakes. You're not going to learn, right? So you need to just take action. And at the end of the day, guys, you're a coach. And it's your job to inspire people to get started. And so I just want you to kind of think about this for 1 second here, right? If you're talking to somebody and you know what their goals are, and then they get nervous and they back down, you can't say to them, all right, no big deal, totally get it, I'm here if you ever need me. No, guys, imagine if you hired a personal trainer. You paid a personal trainer. Guys, you're not seeing the value in you. When people sign up, they get you, a personal coach to help them. This doesn't exist anywhere else unless you go and you hire a personal trainer for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. They are getting you, and it's your job to get them back on track. If people tell you their goals, and they say they're all in, and then they chicken out, and they throw you the excuses, and then they don't do it, you can't sit back and be like, all right, I totally get it. Next month I'll be here. You have to step up to the plate and say, listen to me. You just told me. This is what I say to people straight up. Listen to me. I would be the world's worst coach if I just sat back and let you walk away after you just told me that you feel really insecure. You don't even like to walk by the mirror and look at yourself because you feel that bad about yourself. And you just told me how much you needed this in your life. You're doing this because you need to do this for you, and it's time to put yourself off the back burner and start focusing on you. And you're going to do this, and you're going to take it day by day, and I'm going to be with you every single step of the way. You're going to be in my support group, and we're going to all work together, and you're going to see changes over time. Over this next month, you're going to start feeling so much better. You're going to start looking so much better. And trust me, you are going to thank me. But you're not going to just throw in the towel that fast. You're in, and we're doing this. What's your email? I'm sending you the link now so we can get you started. That is how I talk to people, because I am a coach and you are a coach. And if you hired a personal trainer and you showed up at the gym and then, you said to them, oh, hey, Debbie, I'm just not really feeling it today. I just really just don't feel that motivated. I just don't really think right now is the right time. Let's just do this tomorrow. Do you think the personal trainer that you just hired would say, all right, no problem, Kathy, like I'll see you tomorrow? No, she'd be like, get your ass out there. We're doing this now, right? She'd be on you. That's what you have to do because you're a coach, okay? And people are buying you, not the program, not the product, they're buying you. So treat this just like that and be bold. Tell them that they need this, and be relentless and be persistent in this with people. Trust me, it makes a difference. And the last piece of advice is use the voice message as much as possible. I know, trust me, today I was sitting at Panera getting some work done, and I was talking to some people on Instagram that they wanted to become active coaches on the team. And I was about to start messaging them some stuff. And it was my husband who reminded me, what are you doing? You need to get your face on there and send them a message. And that makes me nervous still. 4 years later, I was like, oh my God, because I really haven't sent that many of those, right? I'm used to using just a voice recorder on Facebook. And I stepped outside Panera and I sent her 2 video messages really quick. And she signed up because people want to see your face or hear your voice. It will trump anything over the words that you write. It doesn't matter. And especially as you're getting to know people, you do have to remember, sometimes you're just a stranger on the other side of the computer. And you have to get them to see that trust in you, that you're there to really help them. And there's no better way to do it than for them to see you and hear you. So you got to challenge yourself and you got to force yourself to do it, but it makes the world a difference. So do you guys have any questions about any of that before I let you guys go? No? All right, cool. So if you guys have any questions about anything, just you can comment in Ambition Academy under this post. I will put the recording up there. But go get it, guys. There's still half the month left. Remember, it's your goal as a business building coach to help at least 3 to 5 people get started on their journey. Every single person in here should be up on the leaderboards, getting at least Success Club 5 or more, because that means that you're doing your job as a coach and you're moving your business forward. So hope you guys have an awesome night, and I'll see you again. Bye, guys.